Hey guys, how's it going? So, I know I look awfully exhausted today, which is kind of par for the course as a mom sometimes. Last night, I had one kid up at 1 saying they had been sick. I had another one up just after 4 because she wanted to come into bed with us. And then when she saw that her brother was sleeping on the couch, she was not willing to go back to her own bed, so she slept in the recliner next to him, because the recliner's next to the couch. And then my alarm was going off nice and early because Sean and I had a meeting at the adoption agency today. So I am rocking the mom bags. That's sorry, keep looking down so I can see my face on the screen. But that's just the way it is sometimes. And that's it. So anyhow, we went to the adoption agency today, and the purpose of that meeting was to go over the fee schedule with them, because one thing I don't know that I've truly said in the other videos that is kind of complicating things with the adoption process. And maybe I did say it, so forgive me if this is a repeat, but when we started this process, it was for a specific child that was listed in an agency in another state, or with an agency in another state. That agency is not in our state, so they couldn't do our home study. We had to do our home study through another agency who would be willing to give it to them. And this agency the other agency said that they would accept it from this agency since it's a wide known name. If it wasn't for that fact, we probably would have considered going through a different agency, because this one turns out was the most expensive on the market, apparently. And I'm trying to keep the long story short. Anyhow, when that adoption did not go through, we were kind of left like free agents. We have a completed home study. We are approved to adopt. We're just not under contract with any agency. We've inquired on other children and everything, which we were told was perfectly fine. More recently, what we have run into is the other agencies want to discuss us or our home study with the agency that did it, but that agency won't discuss it. They've said that in order to discuss anything with anybody, we have to pay them a large sum of money. And that it seems a little backwards, because we're not asking them to facilitate anything. We weren't even asking them to do anything other than, if somebody requests our home study, to go ahead and send it, as long as we approved or whatever. We also have our home study, so we can send it out. But it just became a jumbled mess. We've had one child we inquired on, the worker got back to us really fast, seemed good. He wanted to talk to that agency. So when that wouldn't work out, we just never heard from him again. And that was at the point where we realized we've got to figure something out. And so we met with them today and went over their fee schedule. It was a little muddled because we had previously received a copy, but it turns out that's a national copy, not the one that this office actually uses. And then we were hearing different things. So we were actually really confused about all of it. So anyhow, that was the reason for our meeting today. It comes after us update. I can't even say updating. We did the home study addendum last week, where the worker came out to our house and she walked through, it's updating essentially. I'm sorry, in my opinion, it's updating. It's called the home study addendum. They make any changes to the home study since you originally were approved, which in this case was us moving to this house. So she had to see the house. She's writing up the new report on that. I spoke to her again after we left, because that was one question we forgot to ask her, because we do have to pay for that still, and we haven't seen the charge for it yet. And that'll be done. She said either later today or tomorrow. That'll be attached to our home study. And then at that point, we'll move forward from there. Where we're moving forward, though, I don't know yet, because we have a lot of things to decide and discuss. based on the fees that are coming from that agency that were not originally part of the plan, and in general how our plans have changed. Because when we started this, we were looking at a second chance adoption. That's a child who's coming from a dissolved or disrupted adoption, which was the original idea. And we've actually kind of switched our path. Now we are looking more at adopting out of the foster care system, not to be confused with doing foster care, which in our state we can't do. I know it sounds backwards that we could adopt but not do foster care. The reason is the number of children we have. In South Dakota, there is a cap of 6 children in the home, or 6 minors in the home, however it's worded. Anyhow, we have 7. So we are already disqualified from doing any foster care, which is fine by me because I have shared my video about being a birth child in a foster home. It was not my favorite experience. I think in that video, honestly, I glossed over a lot of things. I was trying to talk things out while keep things positive because I don't know who all watches these videos. Which I still keep a lot of things positive, and there are a lot of positives, but not everything is. I have that out there. So we're going to get this addendum. It's going to be attached. Our home city is good until next May. Doing the math though, there's no way to get a kid here. Get everybody integrated with the family, make sure everything's good, and be finalized before that's up. So we're going to have to update the home study come next May, which also throws an extra wrinkle into things. If we don't go through this agency, I don't know. We're going to have to figure some things out, but it's all good. We're going to figure that out. And now I go on about my day. I am breaking out my Cricut. Yay! Nobody has seen in these videos yet me use my Cricut. I don't know if I'll actually do a video of me using it. I love to create different things. Years ago, I thought it was a scrapbooking thing. I don't scrapbook. There are people who love it. I have friends, I have family, everybody loves it. I don't have time for it. I do everything else crafty. And I finally found out how many different things you could do with it. So a couple years ago, I received one for Christmas. And I have big plans today. I can't wait to show you. That's coming out. And the kids are doing their thing. So today's project, now that I'm being blinded by the sun, was to get that done. I'm so excited. I love having a Cricut and being able to do this kind of stuff myself. So Emmy, what do you think of it? Did you just my work?
Maybe.
One thing that has been a consistent in our life for several months is Rara has been dog sitting for one of our old neighbors, and today is her last day. It's kind of bittersweet. It's been, a couple days a week driving back to the other neighborhood, seeing anybody if they were out. We're gonna have fewer excuses to do that now, but that is okay. I know she's really enjoyed spending time with this dog. She's such a tender-hearted soul. And so this has been a special job for her to be taking care of this dog. We came over here today just now. I was going to start this video a second ago, but Ciara came back to the van. She couldn't get into the house. She's got the key. That's not the problem. You're probably going to get sick of hearing it, but it's banana belt weather. And so despite how much snow we had a week ago, it's 70, well, pushing 70 out, and there's no breeze. So in the sun, it is very warm, which means the wasps are out. They love warm surfaces, and when the sun reflects on the front of the house, I might actually have to go help her here in a sec. Oh my word, that was insane. Okay, so Ciara came back. So Ra came back. She couldn't get in. She tried going around the house. They've got a temporary fence that's staked in. There's no gate to it. so she couldn't get over it. And it turns out there's actually a hornet's nest right at the front door, and that's where they're coming from. They're super active right now. But I managed to get her in the front door. They seem to have a small pause in their swarm. So got her in. She's taking care of the dog. She'll be back in just a few minutes. That was insane. I know some people don't worry about that kind of stuff. You know, somebody came to our house recently. We had a whole weird, something I'd never seen before. Brown stink bugs become very active right as the weather's starting to turn, and they start seeking places of warmth to, I don't know, hibernate or something. Well, anyhow, they were on the front of our house, right around the front porch and everything, trying to get up into the soffits, which I have a feeling there's a ton up in the attic. I don't even want to think about it. And the wasps were swarming on them and eating them. It was weird to see them feeding on the stink bugs, but it was a thick enough group of everything that we were almost afraid to leave the house. Somebody else came over to our house. She just came right up through. She's like, oh, it doesn't bother me. I sit out on my deck and, you know, with a fly swatter, no big deal. And I've watched other people who just kind of sit there and they wait for things to fly by. I was stung too many times as a child. I am antsy. I just know they're coming to get me. It's just like every spider is determined to bite me. You know, I may have some irrational fears, but they're mine and I own them. I will admit I also may have called one of the neighbors over here and asked them if they happen to have any bugs or any wasp spray that would work, but like I said, there was a break just in time. So she's in. It's all good. Keep moving on.
Okay. I opened it once and they dive bombed me.
Mean wasps. I have the key for you. Did you lock the door?
Yes, I did.
Okay. That was Ciara's final day. Dog sitting Francis.
Was I supposed to leave the key?
I actually forgot to ask her. So we'll just hang on to it for now just in case she needs us to come back again. I say final day, but you know, it really, while her job ends, that does not mean that they will never need Rara to dog sit again. So yeah.